So let's talk about it right now. Now, I can't break down every single part of it because we would be here all day, but I'm going to talk about some things that really stuck out to me and really mattered to me and may have mattered to you as well, and comment about what you enjoy so much either in the chat about this direct or in the comment section down below. So, Super Mario Maker 2. Now, I just got a Wii U, broken, have to fix it, have to post a tutorial on how to fix it on our Those Guys Play channel, but before that's fixed, I was thinking, well, I would like Super Mario Maker, because it's Mario Maker. Why would I not want it? I've heard amazing things about it. It's looked amazing. However, again, obviously there is no Mario Maker for the Switch. Everyone has been clamoring either for a remake for the Switch, or of course having Super Mario Maker 2 getting a sequel. And here we are. It's actually getting a sequel that is coming out. For some reason, I don't have the release date, which is a little odd. So I'm going to try to clarify as we're talking about this that there is a release date that was set. If they didn't just set the actual general. Okay, so let's look at, let's see, it says on, Target, Amazon, things like that, although that might just be a placeholder. Let's see here. What did it say on Amazon for Super Mario Maker 2? It says that it's going to be released, December 31st, 2019. All right, that's a placeholder date. So we actually don't know when it's going to be released. Either way, though, from looks of it, we don't know. But I'm still very hyped for it because I've always wanted to play this. But again, I didn't have a Wii U until literally just this past few months. And it's broken. The gamepad's broken, so I can't actually access it until I fix that gamepad. So I can't wait to be able to play Super Mario Maker 2. Now, I would have preferred, and I know it takes a lot of work, and especially it may have not made sense to Nintendo if it's going to be very similar sprites and worlds and things like that to recreate, to create on your own. But I would have liked it to be considered a combo pack of 1 and 2. Again, might not make as much sense with a game like this, but it does feel a little odd that people are going to be jumping into this with the second one and not have the first one either on their shelf as well or be able to take a look at as well. But again, it's one of those games where it probably doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. And also, it's nice that even though Nintendo did shut down the servers for the first Mario Maker rather quickly, and I think didn't really give people enough warning from what I've heard, still, it is nice, though, that within the first few years of the Switch's life cycle, we're going to get a sequel to it, so everyone can enjoy it now. Some for the first time, some as much as they were on the Wii U. So that makes me very happy. Something else that makes me very happy is someone who has Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2 on the PS3, and I believe I played the first one on the PS2 back in the day. I cannot wait for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. It's coming out, it says summer in 2019, so I don't know when in the summer, but I definitely have to save some money up because, well, I need to get me some Marvel Ultimate Alliance. They were focusing a lot on Captain Marvel, and of course they were, her new movies coming out, corporate synergy, all that stuff. But either way, I can't wait to see who else we get to play at, and hopefully, another thing too that I'm a little nervous about, I don't remember if they were shown off in the trailer as much, because I watched this a few days back. I'm hoping that there are some characters that Disney does not currently have the rights to, because remember that Fox merger, we're talking about live action rights here, the Fox merger has not gone through yet, so I'm hoping that maybe we don't get a Deadpool necessarily, but I'm hoping that we do get, a bunch of X-Men characters as well. Even if we dig deep to get Inhumans as well, I know the show didn't do as well, but there are people who are huge Inhuman fans out there. Shout out if you guys are fans of Inhumans. I just feel like we hopefully get a good roster of Marvel characters and not just Marvel characters that are in Marvel movies, live action movies. Hopefully we get many different characters, not just those few. And because when looking at the amount of comic book characters there are, I mean, you have someone like Namor, you have a huge lore of characters that I think especially as a kid who didn't really read comic books, I read comic books more when I got older. I hope that we can get into the lore just like I felt that I got into when I played Marvel Ultimate Alliance 1 and 2, seeing characters that I'd never heard of before. I hope that something similar happens here. So let's move on to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate 3.0 update. I'm actually super happy that Nintendo is keeping us informed about these updates. I've heard a lot of people discuss for years how it feels like, Nintendo doesn't really communicate well when it comes to things like that, especially with such a huge community out there wanting to not just play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate like me casually, going to tournaments and things like that. A lot of people have jobs riding on Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it has nothing to do with jobs at Nintendo or developing this baby. So I'm actually very happy that they're keeping us informed and telling us what are in these updates and things like that. Also, speaking of so not so much updates, but speaking of things I need to save some money for, I want that Snake amiibo. I don't think it has as much butt as I would prefer a Snake amiibo to have, but you know what? Snake representation, I would like that Snake amiibo. And I can't wait to get it. Actually, yeah, it will be my first amiibo. So I don't know why Snake. Actually, I know why Snake, because my dad used to play Metal Gear Solid. I'm not even the biggest fan, but my dad used to love it, so might get it in his honor. Just kind of place it around the house in different points. Potentially, I gotta get like a small little. I gotta make a tiny cardboard box and just put it around the house. Dragon Quest 11 Definitive Edition. So I'm not a huge Dragon Quest fan, but the way that it looked, the fact that it's including all of that DLC and that it is exclusive to the Switch, and that it is coming this fall, this might be my first Dragon Quest game. And tell me, guys, if you're huge Dragon Quest fans and you're watching this, which game should actually be my first. If you don't think this should be my first, but I really do want to get into this because I want more games for my Switch. And the fact that this is coming out exclusively for Switch, it's something amazing. I know that there are people out there who are thinking, hey, I got the original version on my PS4. Why does this have to be exclusive to Switch? But I think that it's very interesting in a way to have console exclusivity, but not really. Where it's like, hey, we're going to have a definitive edition come out on this other console, but the original game actually came out on, the PS4. And this isn't the first time that it's happened with the Switch, but it definitely is a bigger title that I've noticed having it happen on the Switch. So, I think that this is another game. This Direct really got me upset because there are a lot of things that I need to save up for that I don't have the cash. Look at my leather jacket budget. I don't have the cash for this. The green screen was really cheap. So it's like, I gotta get these games secondhand somehow. I can't, maybe get it for the PS4, but then getting DLC and stuff on top of that, I don't know. So I really cannot wait to see what more comes from Dragon Quest 11 for the Switch. And also the fact that when they showed the commercial for it, it had this, I don't know who was the voice actor behind the narration, but they had this very like old school feel to it. Like I was watching an 80s 90s commercial that might have also hyped me up a little bit more as well. Like I was actually watching it off of a VHS tape and not on the internet. The fact that like the internet can do what it can now, it's just like, my god, I feel extremely old. It kind of gave me this nostalgic feel, even though again I've never played Dragon Quest. So I do have a not for resale version that I'm going to be playing soon on Those Guys Play, but because we have a show there called Not for Resale. But it's crazy how it's just crazy how it's a franchise that it's escaped me, but now I'm going to be dragged in potentially with 11. Another not a franchise necessarily, but a game called, a brand new game actually, called Anunnaki. So I don't have everything about, that promo. I do know that it's coming out in summer 2019, and all they sold me on, this is the one thing that I wrote, deep single player campaign. Well, I'm sold. I don't want to interact with people. I don't want to know anybody. I like my friends, but I don't want to interact with people. So all you have to tell me is that there is a deep single player campaign, and I'm in. I'm good. Like, I'm right there with it. Sign me up. They were like, oh, you can also rescue lost souls. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's cool. Move along. Deep single player campaign. I'm with it. Like, I'm down for it. So coming out summer 2019, not sure if I am going to purchase it. Want to look into it a little bit more before doing that. But I will admit, though, that, yeah, you sold me on deep single player campaign. Also, Yoshi's Crafted World coming out March 29th. We have a demo out for it as well. A demo out for it as well. I'll be checking out that demo, potentially playing it on our Twitch, and also reviewing it on the Let's Play channel, general gaming channel, Those Guys Play. And I definitely, it looks beautiful, and I've heard amazing things about the demo, so I cannot wait to get it, cannot wait to play it. Haven't been able to yet. I've been super busy, but thankfully, though, I do have it downloaded, so I just have to set that thing up, record some footage. We're gonna have a blast. I'll also have to try to set it up with this and do this all live on Twitch, which is kind of hard with the way my home is set up, so we'll see how that works in the near future. Fire Emblem Three Houses. So even though people were calling this direct, I believe even Nintendo alluded to it, being the Fire Emblem Direct, I'm actually pretty happy that it didn't dominate the whole thing. Now, there's nothing against Fire Emblem, although that is another franchise that I've always wanted to get into and never had the chance to. But while there's nothing against Fire Emblem, it's just, even with the Smash Direct, while I was very hyped about the Smash Direct, I still kind of sat back and was like, Like, could we hear about maybe something else? So I was kind of happy they didn't go crazy with Fire Emblem in this direct. We do know that it's coming out July 26th. It has been delayed a little bit, and frankly, you know, just like with even though we didn't talk about, we did not get to talk about the Metroid Prime news. I feel as if, for me personally, I would rather have something be delayed and be good rather than come out and then need extreme, you know, crazy patches and things like that. Now, you know, I don't want to name like Fallout 76 by name, but there are just certain games like, again, just, you know, hypothetical Fallout 76 that when you get them, and I've heard people have had some great times with it, so bless your heart if you have. But still, with the amount of patches that are needed for games, again, just hypothetical Fallout 76, you just kind of sit there and you're like, did I get this game for free? No, I paid $60. Well, then I should get a working game for $60. So if this helps iron out all the kinks, so be it. I'm down with it. What I want to say is interesting that you're a teacher with students, a lot different than other games of recent memory, Fire Emblem, with their dynamics and with their romancing, if you will, with some of their visual novel type, love type scenarios. So I'm assuming that they're not going to do any of that shit here, unless it might be with other teachers, in which case go crazy. But if I assume you're probably going to see your students maybe getting flirty with one another and being like, hey, battle. Or being like, what can I do? Either way, though, I don't know how it's going to go. I worry a little bit because of some of the stuff that I've heard that was removed from the 3DS versions of Fire Emblem. So I'm wondering, I'm kind of sitting here and I'm like, you're a teacher now that just, like, I know that isn't every Fire Emblem game, of course, and a lot of people did enjoy some of the stuff that was in, you know, the dating sim, that's the word I was looking for, the dating sim type stuff that was in the Fire Emblem 3DS games. So I do hope that that stuff is kept to a minimum, only because, again, you're a teacher who's managing your students in war. And also there were some people talking about how it was a little odd, the difference in style with the male and female character with their wardrobes. So I hope that before this comes out, there's a chance that you can just switch them up. If you're, you know, a male and you want to wear the female wardrobe, why not? And vice versa. Because it's just a little odd. Like, look, you know, I have nothing, like, look, there's nothing wrong with seeing scantily clad women, but it's the fact that in this game, they're about going to war. And looking at the woman's character model, I just looked at her belly button and I was like, nice belly button, but man, that's open to getting hit with a spear. So I feel as if it would be nice if when the game comes out, that isn't the reason why it's been delayed, but it would be nice when the game comes out if they just kind of switch off, not entirely, not that you have to wear one or the other, but you can wear whatever you like. So, and that's just maybe the default, but it can be changed on the fly. Tetris 99. So I want to play Tetris 99. I do not have Nintendo Switch online, therefore I cannot play Tetris 99. But if you haven't heard of it yet, which I don't know where you've been, it is both free, which it's probably going to change in the future, but as of right now, it's free. You can it's actually Battle Royale Tetris. So literally you're online with 99 other people Tetrising, if that's the term. So have a blast. If you have played it, then please tell me what you think about it down below. Hope you've enjoyed it. Deltarune, or Deltarune A. I'm going to go with Deltarune. Deltarune Chapter 1 is available on February 28th. So when this video is out, it's not available yet, but it is available for free on the Nintendo eShop. I'm going to check that out. Haven't beaten Undertale, but we have played it on our Those Guys Play channel. Myself and Tara, we got together and played it for an episode of Those Guys Play season... Wow, it's been a while. I think season 4. So, season 5 is coming up soon. We've had some issues, technical difficulties, but that'll be coming up soon. But season 4, I'm pretty sure that's what she and I played, and we played a little bit more after that, but we have to get together. We might be able to do it online, but we have to get together to actually play that danged thing. Because I do enjoy Undertale, and I think this might tie into Undertale. I know it's the same creators, and it looks very similar, but unsure. Tell me if you guys know whether or not it ties in down below. Daemon X Machina. I played this demo. I'm going to be playing this demo for you guys in the near future. Going to be reviewing this demo for you guys in the near future. This game looks amazing. I need to get this game. It's coming out, it says in 2019, but it doesn't say when, and I'm pretty sure as a placeholder on Amazon, it's about to show me that it actually, I bet you money, it says, oh, it says available July 26, 2019. Nope. Why in the fuck did it show me? It showed me Fire Emblem first. Why would you do that? Yeah, it says Tuesday, December 31st, 2019. Which again, placeholder date. I hope it makes that date because I'm going to save up and I'm going to pre-order this because I need it. And I know people say that all the time. Matt, you don't actually need that game to survive. You don't, subsist off of games. But I do. I enjoy the taste of Switch cartridges. I need this. I need this game. Seriously, this demo, guys, was amazing. It was a lot better than I expected it to be. Like, I thought, oh, it might be okay. It looked amazing, and I was kind of hyped for it, but usually my hype just never really materializes into anything. So I think some of you guys, if you're longtime fans, if you've been watching through our other mediums, podcasts, Let's Plays, gaming stuff, things like that, you know that I've talked about the fact that when I'm hyped for something, extremely hyped for something, I am usually extremely disappointed. Usually I like being dehyped. And then coming in, actually hearing bad reviews even, and coming in and I kind of end up defending it a little bit. I'm like, it wasn't as bad as people said. Not like it's amazing, but it wasn't as bad as people said. But in this case, my hype was met and increased. So I need to get Demon X Machina real soon. Now, sadly, again, we don't know when it's coming out, but I hope it does come out in 2019. And it comes out before December 31st, 2019. Final Fantasy VIII. Coming out on... Wait, no. Not Final Fantasy VIII. Final Fantasy VII. Oh, God, I'm so fucking sorry, everybody. Oh, Jesus Christ, I'm so sorry. Dude, I'm so sorry, everyone. No, it wasn't even a terrible joke. I read 7 as 8. And I'm actually kind of upset that I read 7 as 8 because I'm sitting here and I was going to talk about the fact that I don't know why 8 was done dirty like this. I haven't even played much of 7. I've played nothing of 8, and I haven't played 9. But I'm sitting here and I'm like, why are these games like done this dirty? Like, I don't know why this is happening to Final Fantasy 8. But we do know that Final Fantasy 7 is coming out on the Switch March 26th, and Final Fantasy 9 is actually available now. So if you didn't know that, you can pick it up now. But yeah, I don't know what's going on with 8, if there's like some licensing rights, maybe some music rights or something like that. Unsure. If you guys have heard some stuff, tell me down below, but it seems like a lot of people overall aren't even questioning it. They're just like, what the hell? Like, they're questioning it in that regard, but they're not even bringing up theories as to why. I do wonder if there's some licensing issue somewhere down the chain. I really have no idea. So, speaking of chains, Astral Chain, which was the almost the last game shown. We'll get to that in a second. Astral Chain looks beautiful. It feels like Evangelion without needing the oversized mecha. Yes, that there is mech, yes. But I'm talking about oversized, like, if you guys don't know, like Evangelion fights, very much a bit like, if I had to compare it to something that if you don't know much about anime, you might know about Power Rangers. So very large mecha, fighting other monsters and things like that. But when looking at this, the fact that a lot of the fighting is seemingly happening from one person fighting a larger monster, but not significantly large, that they can just stomp on you and crush you immediately, it just looks so interesting. And funnily enough, I mentioned Evangelion because from what they showed, it seems like one of the head scientists, perhaps the one that's telling them to, hey, you have to go out, but be careful, yada yada. Seems as if he's their dad, and I wonder if the two of them main characters are brother sister. I believe they said that they're brother sister in the direct. But either way, Astral's Chain definitely has me my interest peaked. I think I just want different types of, like, I've played certain types of games for so long that I want something that seems different, but not too much mech on mech, because, and it's funny because that's Demon X Machina to a certain degree, but the thing is with me and mecha, I've always had a problem connecting directly to at least watching a TV show. Only watching a mech fighting, not so much another mech, but fighting another monster every single week. Like Power Rangers, I actually enjoyed more of the hand-on-hand combat, and even with Super Sentai, I enjoy more of the hand-on-hand combat than I do the actual mech fights. And I know that sounds blasphemous to some people, but it's just, even with mecha anime, sometimes my brain shuts off. Even though I loved as a kid G Gundam and I want to watch the rest of it, I don't know if I can get back into it. and if the mech fights, it'll shut me off. Now, why does it work in game form a bit better for me? Maybe because I'm controlling the character, I'm right there, and I feel like I'm in a giant mecha, or I'm in a mech, so maybe that's what does it. But I don't know, for some reason, watching it, I feel detached. So playing Astral Chain, though, by the way, it says it's coming out August 30th, 2019. What in the who now? I don't know if that's a, I really don't know if that's, is that because looking at Dragon Quest 11 S Echoes of an Elusive Age, which is the definitive edition, it's coming out December 31st. So again, placeholder date. And even with Dragon Quest Builders 2, it says that's coming out. I didn't want to talk about that too much because I don't know much about Builders. I've heard good things, but I don't know much about it. I'm not really that excited about it, despite, if you are, bless your heart, right? But I'm not necessarily. Coming out July 12th. So they don't have placeholder dates for all of these. So can I, get Astral Chain for my birthday? Can I con a friend of mine to get me Astral Chain? I can try. Thank goodness none of my friends or people that work with us watch these streams. If they did, they'd know my plans. So thank God no one. That's a sad thing to say out loud, but you know what? If it gets me this game, frankly, I'm okay with it. So, and now moving on to the last game. Y'all knew I was going to talk about this, even though I've never played it. But y'all knew I was going to talk about it because I am a fan of Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening Remastered. So, here's the thing, right? I will not be getting this. So even though it seems great, I won't be getting this because I still need to get Breath of the Wild. And I would like to play the original Link's Awakening first. Now, I know it's going to be a bit difficult because, well, it's a Legend of Zelda game on the Game Boy. Probably going to be worth a pretty penny. Especially trying to get it in box with a manual. You can cue your laughter now. He thinks he's going to get it in box with a manual? I would just like to. Okay, I'm not saying I would, but I would just like to for an affordable price. You can cue your laughter. I know it's getting louder and louder, but I have to say, though, looking at it, though, I love the art style. I know that there's been some controversy surrounding it. I think that there definitely is this huge debate whether or not, people think that something looks bad versus looking good, and what is good. Because some people, they think, oh, good is realistic. Good makes me feel like I'm watching a real Link walking around. But I think that we have to understand that your personal preference can be whatever you prefer. I'm not telling you to enjoy something that, you're not interested in, right? But when you talk about good or bad, we do have to acknowledge when something is stylized and it's trying to look a certain way. So looking at, this is in the, not anime, but animated section, looking at something like the Animatrix or, I think it was Batman Dark Knight, Batman Gotham Knight, which was a set of animated shorts. Some of them were anime companies like Madhouse coming in. Other ones were just different U.S. companies. So people were coming together to create different Batman shorts. And funnily enough, they got Kevin Conroy and other U.S. voice actors to come in, but it was just so weird to hear him over like an anime Bruce Wayne. Really odd. But point is that some of the stuff looked bad, if you will, for Animatrix and some of the shorts for Gotham Knight. But here's the thing. It wasn't like, oh, it's bad, like this person has no talent. It's just the idea that it's stylized, trying to look different, and in a way that isn't supposed to be ultra uber realistic for the time being. So I think that I'm not saying that some CG can't be bad, because obviously it can be. Believe me, like, bad things can exist when it comes to art. But I think that in this case, it's trying to be stylized. It's not trying to be what Breath of the Wild was, or what a step above what Breath of the Wild could be in the future. It's trying to be a Link's Awakening remaster. Something that you could have seen on the Game Boy, but reimagined for the Switch. And for some people, even though it is a remaster, it could be their first Legend of Zelda game. Not mine. My first was Link to the Past. But funnily enough, for some of you guys that are like, oh yeah, we know that you love Super Nintendo games, so your first was on Super Nintendo, right? No. The one I'm playing on, those guys play that I got to get back to, was on the Super Nintendo. But the one that I played as a kid, that I don't know where the frickin' cartridge is, was for the Game Boy Advance. So that's the thing. Like, I look at this as a kid when I was a kid who got into some of these games through the Game Boy Advance, re-releasing them. Granted, Nintendo releasing them for the Game Boy Advance. Granted, I think the only game that I do have Game & Watch Gallery, but I don't think I have any other Nintendo re-releases on that system. And look, I even know that as a kid, like I did say, like, oh, like, as a teen, I was like, but I have Donkey Kong Country and Super Nintendo. Why do I need it for the Game Boy Advance? And now that I'm older, it's like, because you dingus, you got Link to the Past on the Game Boy Advance. So there's some people that are going to get that for the first time and play that for the first time. So, if this isn't your bag, this isn't your cup of tea, if you have the original Link's Awakening, just have fun and go play that, right? But I think that even though I'm not interested in getting this anytime soon, I would like to get it in the future in some capacity or another. But it's frustrating because it's a Nintendo title, so I know that it is not in any way going to be cheap or any cheaper than maybe like $5 off. So, I might have to bite the bullet, pay $55 one day. But I do think it's interesting because, and I do wonder too when looking at the art style, if this was ever intended for the 3DS perhaps, and then they moved it over to the Switch, not due to the 3DS's lowering sales, because 3DS is not, by the way, not selling as well as it used to, but I don't think that's why, because the sales numbers have just come out. So there was a point when the 3DS was selling well, but I wonder if this was potentially made for that, like many 3DS Legend of Zelda games look, in this similar art style, and they thought, you know what, no, let's actually move it to the Switch. So I don't know if you guys have any speculation on that, comment down below. Would love to hear what you guys have to say. And yeah, we're at the point where we are wrapping up this part of the podcast, talking about the Nintendo. Why am I? Apparently, I am the announcer from not Ninja, from Kaku Ranger, or apparently I'm Porky Pig. Either way, I want to hear what you guys think about the direct down below. Do you think that I didn't cover something that you enjoyed a lot? Because please gush about your fandom down below. And if I did talk about something that you did enjoy, again, gush about your fandom down below. We'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Any suggestions, anything like that, please definitely tell me what you guys think, in either in the chat if you're watching live on Twitch or on the YouTube channel down below.